beautiful baddies. Welcome back to yet another episode of Your Inner Baddie Speaking. Today we are back on the love letter collection, and this one is one that is near and dear to my heart. And I guess that's probably a broken record by now because this is all near and dear to my heart, but you know what I mean. This one really does hit home for me, and it's all about waking up and starting your day full of a cup of love and starting from a place of love. And I think that's very important to start your day on a positive note, no matter what's going on, what's troubling you, all of that. But really this goes a little bit deeper than that. It goes from feeling unloved to starting your day with love. And I think that's why this one really hits home, is not only is it start your day, positively. And of course, that's something that I think, you set intentions at the beginning of your day. And if you are positive and you are thinking about the ways that you are loved, the love that you are giving yourself, I think that is a very strong thing. And I think that does go very far in having a good day and just setting your day mentally before you start your day. I think that's very good to be intentional, and I think that does actually, make a lot of positive waves throughout your day if you start that way, rather than, waking up on the wrong side of the bed and kind of just cranky from the get-go, feeling like everything sucks. And it's hard to come back from that. If you start in a negative, it is hard to come back from that. But to the deeper message here of feeling unloved to starting your day with love is a really tough one for me. I mean, I think there was a long time of my life I really dwelled on feeling unloved. I dwelled on not feeling loved myself. I dwelled on others not loving me in the capacity that I honestly dreamt of, that I wished for. However you want to put two and two together, I felt like I wasn't loved on a lot of different levels, and that left me with such an empty feeling for a while. And I would really focus on that a lot. I would focus on that, whether it be the beginning of my day, middle of my day, end of my day. It permeated throughout my entire life. And, we'll talk about spirituality on another episode, and we've kind of talked about other aspects where just what you feel ultimately attracts what you get. And being in that negative state of mind of feeling unlovable, and it really it started from a very young age, from my childhood. And when you have something in you that stems from such a young and vulnerable position, it's hard to shake that. It's hard if you are not always shown the blueprint. It is hard to figure that shit out yourself. And I will say, it's not that I didn't grow up in a loving home necessarily. I love my mom deeply, and I know that that is one place that I think I have been taught unconditional love, and I am forever grateful for that. But instead of highlighting that in my mind as a kid and growing up, I only seemed to be focusing on those who didn't love me and those who didn't come to the table. And I will include myself in that. I think there are a lot of times that I thought I loved me, or I loved parts of me, but I didn't love me fully. I definitely thought that there must be sides of me that were unlovable if others couldn't love me the way that I thought that love was supposed to be. And we're surrounded by ways that society shoves love down your throat. I mean, how many romantic comedies have you seen? How many, family dynamics have you seen in movies, and friendships have you seen in movies where like that is sort of the formula for, how you're supposed to be loved and the way that you're supposed to get it from others. And when you look at your circumstances and you don't see that in your own life, it can be very difficult to figure out how to like course correct that. It's like, well, why the fuck is it not happening for me? And you go down a rabbit hole, and when you're young, the rabbit hole is like endless, and it's very, very difficult to sort of get out of that perspective and focus on what you do have. And I think this one resonates so much with me because now when I think about it, I can't believe that I only focused on those who honestly did not focus on me. I spent so much time and energy mulling over why I was unlovable, why I couldn't be loved by certain people, why I was not treated the way that you're supposed to be treated. I mean, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. We've all sort of sat there and gone down the laundry list of almost you're like filling in the blanks for other people. You are literally answering something that you might not have an answer to. And you are therefore almost giving yourself reasons to be unloved. And that's not where you want to be. On this journey and this path, like, you can't be confident without feeling that you are giving love to yourself. You can't feel confident when you focus on those who have decided that you're not going to hold as big of a space in their life as you want to hold for them in your life. It just unfortunately does not work out that well. It doesn't balance like that always. And you might hold a lot of space for that person, and it's just not how they hold you. And that is why you shouldn't dwell on it. And it's tough because those are the people that you tend to want love from more than others. And it's why you spend so much time. It's why you spend so much time thinking about them, and you go over it and over it and over it and over it and beat it like a dead horse in your mind. And it's a beautiful thing because you can't fathom not reciprocating that love. You can't fathom offering a place in your life and not giving them love. And that is beautiful in itself, is that the reason that you mull over this and the reason why this keeps you up at night is because you would give that person love and you would make that person feel loved, and you have likely made that person feel loved. But unfortunately, no matter how much you will give for somebody and how much you will give to somebody, it doesn't always work out that they will give the same to you. And learning how to not focus on that and instead focus on the abundance that is around you, the people that do love you, anything that is positive. I mean, I am very lucky in my life now with who I have in my life. But I'll sit here and I'm like glancing over, if you're watching the YouTube version of this, I'm glancing over at Burry, who just emerged from her trash box. But I will look at her and I will know that I am loved every day that she is here because she loves me too. And as much as sometimes as an emotional support animal, I am like crying during a movie or just crying in general, and I'm like, hey, come here, I need you, and she scampers away, I know that she loves me. And the same with me is that I have grown to understand that at the end of the day, oh, did you hear that I needed you, Burry? We got a Burry sighting here. I know at the end of the day that I love myself. And so no one can take that away from me. People can try. People have definitely tried. They have tried to strip me of the love that I give myself because it threatens the very foundation that is so fragile of their own. But I will always have this love for myself. And as I continue to give myself love, I continue to know that I am loved. And that, when you start to focus on your foundation of love that you give yourself, you can then focus on who else does love you, and what else in your life that you have that loves you, or that you give love to, and you don't need to receive anything back. And, it kind of goes back to an episode that I did last holiday season about love is truly all around us. It does not have to come from a relationship, but this is more broad of focus on those who do love you rather than those who do not, so that you can go from feeling unloved to starting your day with love. And this is the love letter that I wrote to myself that's based off of all of that. So I'll read it to you now. Every morning I wake up, I decide that I am worthy of love. I open my eyes believing that I am enough, that I am loved. For a long time, I didn't feel this way. I went to sleep feeling a lack of love, and I woke back up dwelling on those who didn't love me back. Feeling like there was a hole within me just waiting to be filled each and every day. Starting everything with the thought of, why am I not loved? What is wrong with me? Why am I not enough? Why don't they love me? Of course, these questions remain unanswered, but that didn't stop me from answering them. And certainly didn't stop me from asking them. I learned to fill in the blanks. Doing the work for them, I found reasons for why I was not lovable. Of course, I only focused on those who didn't love me, and not those who did. Like I lost sight of those right in front of me, trying to love me because I could only see those who didn't. With all my focus there, it's no wonder I had this deep sense that I was unlovable. I was only allowing myself to dwell on that, stuck in a self-fulfilled circle of seeing only what I lacked. The irony that I see clearly now. But one thing about feeling unloved is it made me feel alone. And through feeling alone, I realized one thing. If I have my love, then I am always loved. And if I have that, what else do I have? And so I started to see what I did have. The love that others gave me, the support that I had but didn't really realize. Feeling alone allowed me to see myself for what I was. A wounded little girl, hoping to be loved by all, but not realizing that I was loved by those who mattered most. And certainly not focusing on the love I so desperately wanted from others, I was now giving myself. And so now when I wake up, I don't let my mind think for a second about what I don't have, whose love slipped away from my desperate grasp, because now I love myself, and I spend every day in and out knowing that. And that unlocked my mind to know that there are those that do love me too. And now I get to think about all the ones I love, including myself. And every day is a beautiful one, filled with hope, because I know that I am loved. As you can see, got a little choked up there. It's tough to remember that there was a time when you didn't feel loved. That there was a time that you let yourself be consumed by the people who didn't deserve 2 seconds in my brain. The fact that I spent so much of my time worrying about receiving love from people who honestly probably didn't even give a shit if they were giving it to me. Probably never thought twice about not giving it to me. Probably never thought about me in their life. And if they did, kudos to you for receiving love. Kudos to you for getting what you needed at the time. Because even though I didn't give it to myself at the time, I now give it to myself every day, and I will for the rest of my life. And that goes for anyone who struggles with this, anyone who feels unlovable or felt unloved. You deserve every last person's love. But unfortunately, that's not how it works. It's not how life works. And you certainly can't, and you certainly shouldn't, beg for someone to show up for you or beg for someone to love you. Because the more you love yourself, the more you do not seek it from others. You will feel whole on your own because you are filling your cup with love. You will start the day with love and you will end the day with love because you give it to yourself. And it doesn't hurt if you have a furry little friend who loves you to give that to you as well when you are at home. And it certainly doesn't hurt if you have a loved one at home. And it certainly doesn't hurt to call in a family member that you love or to call a friend that you love, because you start to realize that your network is actually quite large. Aw, thanks for coming back, furry. You have so much love around you, and you will build so much love within yourself, and you will know that you have so much love around you that you will no longer focus on the ones who do not give it to you. And honestly, you will likely not even not dwell on it. You won't chase it. You won't attract people into your life who do not feel that way about you. You will no longer receive emptiness from people because you are not empty. You will no longer attract people who need to use you for your love and your light, because you yourself give yourself all of the love and light that you need. You do not need to fill someone else. You do not need to give it to somebody else who in turn is just maybe using you for it or doesn't have the capacity to love you back. And you will learn to not stick around for you to question your worth again, to question that you are loved. You will not even for a fucking moment let yourself feel unloved again, because you are loved. You love yourself and you can never be stripped away of that. The only person that can take that away from yourself is you, so don't. Ooh, I feel like I'm feeling a little bit spicy on this one, but I just want you to understand that it is possible to go from that girl on the floor crying, desperately wishing that those around her would love her, to wondering why anyone would even fuck up the opportunity to give you love. That's the perspective switch that we want. And I want you to know that as you go on this journey and you give yourself love, you'll wake up every day feeling loved. You'll go to sleep knowing that you are loved. In tough times, you will still know that you are loved. And when you feel that, you can't help but just beam from happiness that you are the love that you once sought out so much in others. And when you can see it clearly, you can see others' love very, very clearly. And you will let in others who love you, because that's what you're attracting now. You're so filled with love that nothing but love will come your way. We all know the episode where I talk about support system. You gotta kind of weed it out. We've got some work to do, but you will truly attract less and less of those leeches and more of those who want to put in the love that you put into yourself. And I hope if you take anything away from this is that not only can you go from feeling unloved to feeling loved every day, but you